Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so hopefully I got to this quick enough because this morning I have had the worst night and then morning of anxiety, and my experience was so intense that I was having a mild panic attack about what was going on. And okay, let me go take care of this. Okay. Way too much excitement this morning. I think I'm done being excited. Okay, seriously. So, okay, let me see if I can get back into that headspace. And it's the what's been happening is we have some Christmas lights outside on our fence, and I guess it's shorting. It's the GFCI is working, but the GFCI that's connected to it outside is this whole space in here. So all the plugs in here don't work. So every time it happens, I have to go and reset it, unplug stuff, all this stuff. And it's a new thing because we haven't had these up that long. It hasn't been raining all that much until now. So, but this is amazing because we never get this kind of wet weather this late in July. So I'm just so excited to have rain. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So the state that I've been in since last night was a kind of a high-pitched anxiety. And what's been going on around this is a situation where I have other people involved, and in the anxiety that was just kind of going, because I would figure out why one angle of my anxiety was not valid. There was this anxiety about something, and I was able to basically say, well, but you can't control that. So what's the point of having an anxiety about it if it's there's nothing inherently wrong, nothing inherently dangerous. So the anxiety is about control then. I can't control this other person, this situation. And yesterday was a little bit of a compounded thing because we're trying to get these kittens to homes, and freaking during a pandemic, I'll tell you, and the only good thing was yesterday that was amazing was that a friend came over to pick up one of the kittens, and she has been properly quarantining, and so I was able to give her a hug even though we had to do massive faces apart because her and I have been around no one, going nowhere, wearing masks everywhere. And, it was just a desperation at that point. And so that helped me kind of get through some of this because I got to have an experience that I haven't had in since March. Having contact with anybody, having any sort of connection with physical connection with anybody, which is, one of my favorite things is hugging. And so yesterday after that, I was dealing with getting another one of these kittens into a home, and the situation isn't bad. It's not bad at all, and there's nothing wrong, but dealing with people is my biggest thing. And so even though this friend came over yesterday and I had a very, very positive experience with her and her husband, and they're great people, really good people through and through, I still was just fever pitch of anxiety. And I hate that. I absolutely hate that. So the perspective on this that I want to share, and the thing that I think might be of service to others, my anxiety around other people, I have I want to say a crippling social anxiety at this point, because it keeps me from doing things that I want to do. I can't go see people I want to see. I'd rather just not deal with it, because the anxiety I get is so intense that I'd rather avoid the circumstance and situation altogether. And what this is, so this insight is that hard to get this all focused because I'm all discombobulated with the events of this morning already, and I'm already dealing with the anxiety of the next event to come because I'm going to have to deal with the tail end of my, the situation with this cat thing, and I'm having to, anyways. So the main thing about this is that it's a desire for control. And I almost wanted to reflect on this through the lens of, because empaths very often have to deal with narcissists on a very high level, like on a very recurrent level, or recurrent. We deal with them a lot. Trying to sound smart first thing in the morning is not hard. It's not an easy thing to do. I'm just like, my brain is so fried because anxiety wrecks your brain, It just short circuits everything and there's nothing going on anymore. So doing this helps me because it helps get me into other parts of the brain because I'm in high emotion state right now and it's horrible. So anyways, back to this. This is so hard. But it's basically a desire for control. And this kind of relates to narcissism in some way, in the desire that it's all about me. And it's an interesting balance. Oh, my cat's in here. Good to know. It's an interesting balance of being aware of how it impacts me because I deal with these people and they're the ones that hurt me the most. People who are so self-absorbed and so just completely blind to the world around them, they're the ones who are of constant discomfort for me. I hate being around them, and there's so many of them. They're everywhere in varying degrees, but unfortunately, it's like rampant in Western society. So when I was allowing space to be aware of what my experience was around some of this, stuff, it's what it is that it's this experience where I'm encountering somebody who is putting on me their needs. And without a, hey, can you help me? It's an expected thing. And that happens so often to the point that I've avoided these people in my life because they do it so quickly. And I am, unfortunately, and this is something I think empaths share, is that we want to give, we want to help, we want to be there for people because we want that for ourselves. We want people that are around us to support us and nurture us and help us and, love us and all that. And so my instinct is to give what I want to receive, except that giving doesn't get back. I don't get anything back from that. So it's something that I'm having to find balance in because there are people worth giving to. It's not everyone. But in this circumstance that I had about a desire for control and a desire for something, it was dealing with a person who was trying to get help from me, but through a controlling measure by using guilt and using other such kind of very common and innate human things, Okay, good. I'm gonna start this or this sucks. Okay, so it's the next day and I wanted to finish up what I was trying to talk about because I realized I was having a really hard time focusing what I was trying to verbalize there. So basically what I started to realize through this experience of yesterday was part of my anxiety around other people, my social anxiety perhaps, is an inability to control the interactions I'm having. I can't control another person. I can't control the environment. I can't control anything else outside of myself. And when I actualized that yesterday, it was the first time actually that I was aware of that desire, that tendency or that desire. So what that gives me now is greater information for that next time that it happens, because if I struggle with social anxiety all the time. Every single time I deal with a person in real life, I always am struggling with that. And so if I can instead break it down into pieces and ask myself, okay, what am I looking for right now? Am I looking for self-care? Am I looking for comfort? Am I looking for change in something? Is the environment not conducive to something? Am I feeling bad? Am I feeling something is not right? Or am I looking for control? Do I want this person to not be this way? Do I want this to not be that way? And then it allows me to make space. And that could be for myself if I need it, which means I need to back away and move away from this person or the situation and give it to somebody else to handle, which is becoming more of my options. Like I'm allowing myself to say, hey, can you take care of this because I'm having a hard time with this? And also, it's creating space for this other person, because what I have realized for many years now is that when I have a problem with someone, I become very aggressive towards them. And it's weird because sometimes I feel like I'm completely overwhelmed by people, and at other times I can be very overwhelming to people myself. So in my ability to understand myself, I've asked these questions. And so this a desire for control of the environment, the situation, and the people involved is a huge factor in my understanding of this now. And I'm not sure exactly where that will lead me because, again, this is very, very new to me. But I will say that I am armed now. I have, as my therapist liked to put it, I have another piece of information, another tool in my backpack of how I deal with the world, how I relate to it, and how I help myself through it. So maybe there's something in that for you. Maybe you want control, and that's where some of the anxiety comes up. And if I let go of control to make space, instead of trying to control all the parts and pieces, instead I find a sense of wellness. Because I'm addressing the core desire rather than the abstract expression of it that's saying this is the problem, rather than the parts are not aligned with each other. So hopefully this little add-on here will help to clarify what I was trying to say there, because I'm telling you straight up, you're witnessing me having actualization as I was having it. So I guess I can't ask much more of myself in that experience other than just to try to speak honestly. So if there's anything about that you're curious about or you have any questions about, just let me know. And I look forward to seeing you next time.